BeastNet Podcast, sponsored in part by James Safety Services, OCR Buddy, and supported by the fitness community. Here we discuss all things fitness related, running, rucking, mental health and preparedness, and of course, obstacle course racing. Welcome to the BeastNet.
Good afternoon, everybody. This is Lisa from BeastNet Podcast, and today we're talking with Dwayne Legrand. How's it going?
Good.
What's your race season looking like so far, since you guys down there have more races going on?
Well, mine personally, I kind of scaled back, but I think because of COVID, because of changes, I think everyone's kind of timid.
Yeah.
Because, last year we have a race. Okay, we commit to it. And literally, just an example, I was going to Virginia Beach for Bone Frog. I committed. That week, I got a message from Danny saying it's canceled after I booked my flight. So it's just one of those things that, So I'm kind of like, you know what? So Jacksonville bit me in the butt. I waited too long. And I was like, okay, I'm going to come. And then it was like, we're sold out. I'm like, so it's kind of like a double-edged sword. Do you want to commit? It seems to be getting better. I think the summer is going to be great. But kind of right now, I think as much as most, everyone's kind of timid because you want to go do it, but you don't want to commit. And then they're like, yeah, we're going to back off. So, So I've got a few Spartans lined up. I'm definitely doing Austin, which is in May. I am doing the Dallas Stadium, which is probably my favorite venue. Most people laugh at me, but I love that whole sports venue. I mean, it's in Cowboy Stadium. I mean, come on, I'm not a Cowboys fan, but it's awesome. And then I'm definitely doing the Dallas Beach. That's one of my that's my favorites. So yeah.
That's the one I'm like, I really want to commit to, but me and a few others are doing the ultra, and I'm like, am I gonna spend that money and then you have a credit to use later? Like, I don't know.
Last year. Well, I will say the good thing about Texas is they've removed all the masks and they're at 100% starting today. So
that's awesome.
Is it gonna stay? Is it gonna go? I don't know, but for the most part, yeah. And then we also have a couple other things going on. I've become an ambassador. I'm sorry, it's been a long day. I've become an ambassador with Phoenix OCR, with Julie and those guys down there. And they've got some really nice venues coming up. They do a really good job on putting on. It's not quite a Spartan level as far as production, but I've always said a lot of these local races, I prefer them better because there's more thought put into it. There's not the whole corporate landscape of it.
That's so true. I've seen a lot of the stuff that she's been putting out to promote it, and I'm like, the medals look awesome. The finisher shirts look awesome.
Finisher shirt.
Right?
I committed just because of the shirt. I'm like, okay, I'm done. I'm in. Because she Julie does an amazing job. Every time she put it down, I won't lie to you, I love this woman, but she's country as hell. Because she'll come at you, talk about, that's right, we're gonna do this and we're gonna put it down. And I'm like, yes, ma'am, whatever you tell me. I just got told I'm gonna put it down. So yeah. But no, it's just a great group of people that, I love being part of things that everyone is a part of as far as they want to be part of it. They're not being forced to, it's not their job. I mean, it's a job, but it's still, they always say when you do your job, you don't work a day in your life. You love your job.
Yep. Totally agree with you on that. And it's good to see people who are into it and building like the smaller races and starting to build them up, and they have the passion behind it. Like there's a passion and a love for it. And you see that in Jules and all the stuff that she posts. I'm like, oh, you love what you're doing. And it's awesome to see.
Absolutely.
And the first race, isn't it in Mississippi next month?
Yes. April 14th.
Yep.
I'm sorry, April 17th. 17th. And it's in Meridian, Mississippi. So they had an event a few months back. It was Celtic Warrior Challenge, and Julie was a part of that. But I think she's broken off and she's doing her thing now. And so there'll be a lot of similarities to some of the obstacles, I believe, but it's still going to be her own stamp on it.
That's awesome. I saw that they're putting on a mini triathlon too, and I'm like, oh, I kind of want to know what that's all about.
I do too. I've been asking. I actually tried to call her today to talk, and she's so busy. Like your phone goes automatically to voicemail because Julie's also in charge of things with Legendborne as well. So she has a
Yeah.
lot of hats. She wears. She does the races. She does Legendborne. So she has a lot of hats. So
Yeah.
trying to keep it up with her, it's near impossible. So,
Yeah.
but
Yeah, I want to find out about that because I'm like, well, if you're traveling from out of state, what do you do about a bicycle? And how does this all
well,
work?
I do know most of the triathlon they have stuff set up where there's like those guys use certain bikes. My guess is that if that's to that level, they bring their own bikes, but I know some people will just get local, and I'm sure
Yeah.
there'll be something discussed possibly
Yeah.
about, hey, can we get bikes here or something? Kind of,
Right.
you know a friend? I got a couple bikes. So
um, and you're still Legendborne ambassador too, aren't you? I mean,
yes that
I
I'm
see
not going
the
anywhere unless they get rid of me. I almost put my more hearts and scars on, but I just wanted sleeves because it's a little chilly today. So, but
I just ordered our BeastNet jerseys and I'm so excited.
those things are fire. Yes, I
Yep.
saw them, and yes, those things are fire. That's absolutely, yeah.
I ordered that one, my More Heart Than Scars, and I had to get a hoodie. So
No, seriously. But see,
yeah.
and that's what's frustrating with me because like I want to order a hoodie because like OCR Buddy just came out with an amazing design, and I want to get a hoodie for Russ and those guys at OCR Buddy. But
Yeah.
I live in the South, and like this is the coldest we get. I've worn my hoodie the most this year that I have probably in 3 years. It just we don't get cold enough for hoodies, but it's like I want to support, I want to commit.
Yeah, I got a hoodie. I live in my hoodies pretty much all year round. Like we don't get warm enough. Occasionally we do,
Mhm.
but I always wear a hoodie. But that makes it easier for me to on cold days to wear a hoodie and have my sunroof open. So hey,
There you go. Absolutely.
that's what I did today. So are you doing all the races for Phoenix OCR or just a few of them?
My plan is to be at all the races for Phoenix OCR. I'm not sure what schedules will work out. I
Yeah,
know they're being really good as far as helping out with accommodations, as far as places to stay and stuff like that. So
that's awesome.
definitely, yeah, because she's got two in Georgia, and the last one's going to be in Chattanooga, which I've never been to Chattanooga, Tennessee. So if I have two to choose from, I'm going to go to Meridian. I'm going to Chattanooga because I've never been to Chattanooga, and that's like their home base. So they have a lot of stuff they do there. So I definitely
Mm.
want to see it.
Yeah, I don't blame you on that one. Um, yeah, I know Dawn and I have been talking to try to figure out how to get one of us or both of us out to one of those races back there. It's just a matter of schedules
Just
and
schedule and stuff.
yeah,
So I think the Meridian race is going to be gorgeous because of the weather. Just because it's springtime, so it's going to be hot for your standards, not ours. It's going to be pleasant. Y'all would show up and y'all gonna be hot. But the venue that they do it at, it's a park, and it's just a beautiful venue that they use.
that's
Just
awesome.
enough hills, just enough hills to make it challenging, but nothing like y'all have up in the Pacific Northwest. I know better.
We only have little hills.
Yeah, sure. Y'all are mostly the reason, you guys in Killington, the reason what the Spartan meme, it's like you get over the hill and then you see the next one and your face is like, seriously, another hill. Yeah.
That
So
is
yeah.
Montana. That is hands down Montana. And there's everybody's like planning for it. They're like, "Are you going to go to Montana?" And I'm like, I don't know if I want to go die on that mountain again. And they're like, "Well, it's a trifecta weekend." Oh, that's a hard
Yeah.
pass. That's a hard
I was
pass.
I was about to say, I think Montana's actually a trifecta this year. So I'm like, whoa, because I mean, West Virginia was probably that was amazing that weekend for a trifecta weekend in West Virginia, but it wasn't like unbearable. Some of these ones, it's like these guys put the work in.
Well, and it's Montana's so finicky. Yeah, it's the first part of May, but
Hmm.
it could snow the week before. And
Yep,
nope,
it's like going to
no,
Tahoe. You go to
yeah,
Tahoe on Saturday. On Saturday, it's 75. Then the next day, it was below 30. On
yeah.
the Sunday, you just don't
I'll
know.
That's a hard pass for me. Like hard pass. I don't do cold anymore. And I definitely am not going to go race in the snow. No, that's a no.
No, yeah.
That's-
Sometimes I did all that cold because I haven't seen too many of the cold races so far this year. I guess because of COVID. But
Yeah.
everybody talks about, you know, the snow race. No, I don't like snow. I live in the South for a reason. No one. I tell people this all the time. When's the last time you heard someone say, "I'm going to retire to the North"? No one ever does. They go south because it's warm. There's a reason why.
There's a reason why when people look to move, it's not north. Or north as I have now is Alaska, and that's a hard pass.
Understood.
It looks beautiful. I just no, not for me. I know Seattle is hopefully going to be in September. And that should be pretty decent weather for the Seattle race.
But it always rains, doesn't it? It's like it's always mud.
Not necessarily. September, it depends on how our weather's been.
Every Seattle race I've seen has been mud. I don't care what time of the year. It's always been mud.
Well, of course
like it's been like a mud fest. Like it's like they need to call it that. This needs to be the first. They take Seattle and make that where they bring Tough Mudder and Spartan together because of the whole, you know, inclusion or whatever. So that's Tough Mudder brought to you by Spartan in Seattle because we don't bring the mud. The mud's here. Yeah.
But that's what makes it fun. I love the mud. There's one spot on the course that Steve Hammond called, I think he called it the Soul Sucker. And I'm like, Soul Sucker. Oh yeah, I know what he meant now. Like, even if you had your shoes like tightened as best you could, you were still like pulling to make sure that they didn't take your shoes off.
Good God.
There were some people that left their shoes behind. I'm like, how are you running with no shoes on? Like,
I've seen several. I've seen, because I usually run competitive, but I've seen competitive racers lose their shoes and run barefoot. And I'm like, we're in Austin in the mountains with rocks. How are you still running?
Right.
I'm like, bro, I'd have like a hard pass. I'd have been done. Yeah.
Me too. Yeah.
I'm not that good.
Nope.
No.
I'm not either. No. So hopefully we'll see what happens with Seattle. Our governor's still kind of being, well, he's not being very friendly. It's the best way to put it.
We're in the same boat. Basically, Louisiana will do one thing, but then the city of New Orleans, she's like, no, I'm doing this. So there's a whole lot of button heads, and it's like, dude, just make a decision and we'll all follow it. But let's quit talking who's going to do what. Just do it.
Yeah. We just, it's just a cluster over here, but hopefully the Seattle races go on. I know a few of us are trying to figure out Hawaii and seeing what's going on there for the trifecta weekend in Hawaii, but that's kind of hit and miss right now too.
Well, I think a lot of things it's hard for travel, like going overseas. So I guess I could say it because I actually turned it down. I was invited to do a show that's kind of like a it's a challenge kind of show. I'm not gonna say the name of it because it'll be coming out soon, but they're doing it in Australia. And I just with COVID, I'm sorry, there's too many unknowns right now. I apologize. I just can't. Yeah. I can't go to Australia right now. I don't see it being smart. You just don't know. I don't want to, as much as things are getting better, I don't want to put myself in a situation where I'm causing problems just for me and for my family. You just don't never know, and I'd just rather not. I'm like, you know what? I appreciate it.
Yeah. I'm on the fence and I'm trying to talk to my daughter and say, okay, well, you graduate next year. We could always do it next year, but we could go somewhere else. So we're still kind of finagling.
So I'm gonna throw that out there. Your daughter graduating and trifecta weekend in Greece, in Sparta.
I know. I wanted to.
Is like all I've been told is that that's the one bucket list everyone must do.
Okay.
Look, I just set the stage. Tell your daughter you're welcome. You're welcome.
We'll see about that. But
don't let her watch the podcast.
I would love to do that. Greece has been on my bucket list for a while because you get all the emails. Well, you qualified. Well, that's fantastic. I can't go yet.
I do like the marketing, but I think it's kind of crazy. You qualified, because I signed up. That's pretty much. I mean, it feels good, and everybody's posting this. I qualified. I'm thinking, because you signed up.
You signed up. Yep.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
We'll see what
Yeah.
happens. We're doing some sort of trip this year, just
Okay.
because I felt bad that we were supposed to go last year to Hawaii, and of course,
Right.
everything happened.
But
So
didn't she get to go to New Orleans?
no, she went to Florida. Oh my God. They ended up just going to Florida. And that was the funniest thing. I have a video of her. And if I'm having a crappy day, I watch this video because it makes me laugh so hard. She's sitting in the car and she's like, go to Florida, they said. It'll be warm, they said. And she flips it around and she's like, it's raining. And I'm like, it's literally the rain followed her down there and it followed her home. The day after they left, it was 70, sunny. The place they were staying at opened up their lazy river, and she's like, "You fucking kidding me, Mom?" And I'm like,
okay, that's classic.
You at least gotta get out of state, man. Like, shush. So she had a good time, and she said she wants to go down there and visit. So
Absolutely, yeah.
happens. We'll see what happens. Yeah. I've already told her that Mom needs a break first.
Well, maybe her mom can. You do realize there's a Spartan in Florida in December, and it's sometimes cold, sometimes not. It's kind of hit or miss.
But I like to torture my family and take them to warm places in the summer.
Understood.
I'm the one who went to Sedona, Arizona, middle of summer, 110-degree heat, and I was just like, yeah,
this is awesome. So I will say this. One of the funnest times I've had, and it was, non-race related whatsoever.
Yeah.
But middle of summer, it's hot as hell, but go to Atlanta. There's so much to do in Atlanta.
Really?
It is miserably hot, though. Like, they call it Hot Atlanta for a reason. But there's so much to do there. You have like the world of Coke and stuff. Like, I don't drink Coke, but oh my God, to watch some of the stuff they do is it's just phenomenal. Like, it keeps you entertained. But yeah, there's a lot to do in Atlanta.
That's
so definitely
awesome.
not there.
Yeah, I know Erica Boggins been like throwing me hints and things, places to go and stuff to do. So we'll see what happens. Haven't quite decided yet, and I'm not sure if she would appreciate me purposely booking a vacation around a race, but that's kind of the point of Hawaii. But
racecation. I mean,
exactly.
That's what we all do.
Exactly. So what else do you got going on? You got the Phoenix Rising, a few Spartans. Are you doing any of the other races? Do you have local ones?
There is, so I'm just kind of getting to know a little bit about it, but the one I'm seeing right now is a Battle of the Lions. And these guys, this is going to be more Southern. I think there's one in Arkansas. There's one in, I think, Kansas City. Oklahoma City. So it's definitely Southern. Sid would battle, who I usually race with, is involved with it. Sid does a lot of builds and stuff. So I hate to have little information about it, but it might be something that people can look into. But it's called Battle of Lions OCR. Okay. And there's 4 events, and they have like different levels. One says strength, one says grip, one says, and they're just different levels of events. But it's definitely one I'm seeing a lot of promotion come through it. It's definitely something I'm interested in. And I just mentioned it because I've seen it just the last few days. I've seen it come up more and more, and just trying to learn more about it. So definitely something that might be noteworthy and whatnot. Then I am planning on doing a couple of Savages. The Savage Texas is in April, and then I was scheduled to do Bone Frog in Virginia Beach. That's kind of the fence. I just got the email saying it's on. I'm gonna hold my fingers because Danny has been after me to do a Bone Frog. Danny's all East Coast. Yeah. Danny's someone you need to get on here because that boy can talk for days. So that dude, and half the time when he talks, I'm like, what did he say? Because he has that Puerto Rican in him. So but no, a great guy. But yeah, Danny does a lot. But he's big with Bone Frog, and he's been after me to try one of those, and it's Navy SEAL. So being former Navy, I definitely would love to see what they bring on to it and stuff. So, but unfortunately, my schedule isn't my usual schedule. I've been very timid this year, and I know I have, and I feel like I've been dropping the ball. But it's kind of like I don't want to over-promise because I don't know what to expect. So and I think that's the theme of 2021 right now. It's like wait and see. Let's commit, and I commit to a few because I said Dallas is probably my favorite to go to Dallas Stadium, but that's because I do the family. Like my brother, my sister, they come, the kids come. So we kind of do it. So it depends on how much involvement everyone can have, like usual. Because I
Yeah.
don't know if you've done that one yet, but that's probably, I said, it's my favorite because I've never been to a venue where the fans, like the families are in the stands watching the race. Because you go through all the stadium, but you don't really miss much. They have it
Yeah.
on the Jumbotron. It's really cool. I mean, you don't get dirty, but hell, it's just, you better like steps. It's a lot of steps. But but no, it's to me, that's the most family friendly one I've been to when you do like a whole family event.
Okay. I haven't done any stadium races at all yet. None.
Really.
Yep.
I haven't done it. That's the only stadium I have done. I've been, everybody, we were supposed to do Boston last year. A bunch of them did Boston, and it was cold. I'm sorry, but it was cold. They're doing all this stuff. It's cold. It's outside. It's cold. I look at the stadium to be a little bit different than what I'm used to. I can go run in the mud and be cold, but I haven't done the outdoor stadiums because I guess all the baseball ones are outdoor.
Yeah.
The one in Arizona and the one in Dallas are indoor. And I was planning on doing Arizona, but the problem is they're like a week apart. And I'm not going to go to Dallas and then go to Arizona next week. It's just too hard to plan.
Yeah.
Even though I do have family in Arizona, so I would like to do it, but it's kind of like just that whole trying to plan it. It's
That's
tough.
a lot. Like back-to-back race weekends. That's a lot, and especially if you have to travel to multiple states.
I did another podcast, and someone asked me one of the coolest things. I just hadn't thought about this, and they said, "What's your favorite part about a race?" And I said, "The drive." And they said, "Really?" I said, "That's actually the best and the worst. The drive to and the drive from. Drive to is so much anticipation, so excited. The drive from, it's like, I got to go back home. You're just so tired. You're ready to get back home because you're ready to get back to reality, but you're just exhausted and the high is wearing off."
Yeah.
So it's like, that's the high and low is the drive. If you're driving or the travel is just, you're so excited and then you're bummed. So yeah.
Yep. Totally agree with you on that. My best friend and I, a few years ago, we drove to Montana. It was me, her, and my daughter. And it was like one thing after another kept happening to us. And we somehow lost like 4 hours and maybe more. It was crazy.
Okay, hold on. I'm sorry. Hold on. We were driving and we just lost 4 hours. It just kind of 4 hours.
So part of it was we stopped in Spokane because we had to get street tacos. There's an awesome street taco truck. So we stopped. She left her purse on the concrete barrier where we were parked at, and we didn't notice this until we got into Montana and we had to go back. And we got her purse. It was like that fiasco was taken care of. But the way first time going to Montana, we passed a major car wreck. On the way back to get her purse, we were almost in a wreck because somebody hydroplaned across the highway. And so it was the back and forth. By time we were supposed to get into Kalispell, I think by 7 or 8 at night, we got in there at 1 o'clock in the morning. 1 o'clock in the morning. Did you ever see the Far Side cartoons?
Yes. Yeah. Oh yeah. Yes.
Okay. So we passed, it was the funniest thing I've ever seen. We passed a deer that had been hit on the road. Okay, no big deal. Like across from him were 2 deers just staring at this one deer. We went like 50 feet up the road and there was probably 30 deer standing right there. And I'm like, did we just pass through a Far Side cartoon? Like, hey, Carl's back here. We lost him. So
that's a northern thing because we don't see deer on the side of the road here. I mean, you're not gonna see a deer just chilling. What up, deer? Yeah.
We weren't expecting that. We're like, what the hell's going on? I think my daughter was ready to kill us by the end of the weekend because just all the stuff that kept happening and we were making jokes about it. And the drive there, that was the best thing. And even the drive back, even though we were tired, it was awesome. So you're right. That travel to and from the race is part of the best.
It's if you do it, it's I won't lie, it can be because there's quite a few times I'll do it alone. And it can be somewhat if you're focused, if you're racing, but it is so much more fun when you have a group, Now, I will say it's more fun when you have a group of olders because with the younger ones, it's like, seriously, I gotta pee. I gotta pee.
If you ever see my kid, ask her about her first trip to Montana. I still to this day have not lived it down. She was, I think, 10, and farthest back part of our vehicle, like surrounded by luggage, and us adults may or may not have forgotten she was back there a few times, and the topic of conversations got a rather
Understood.
interesting.
Understood. She got schooled.
She got schooled. Yes, she did. Well, she had headphones in, so I figured she was listening to her music the entire time.
Right. Of course.
No.
That's how the kids play us. Yeah.
Yes.
No, yeah, I didn't hear nothing. What?
Exactly.
Wait, what? Yeah.
Yeah. Our trips to Montana with her have been really entertaining. And I think her favorite race to go to is mine, which is Washougal. And it's like 4 hours away. We go down the night before, and it's fun. She usually plays DJ, and I get schooled on what songs she knows from back in my day.
That amazes me. It amazes me. Well, what kills me is nowadays there's so many remakes, and I'm sitting there singing a song, and the kids are like, "How do you know this? It's brand new." No, it's not. This is 1992. Trust me. I'm about to spit this out. Watch.
Yeah, that's what my daughter, she stopped by my work today, and there was a Bon Jovi song on, and she's like, she had her mask on, and she was like bobbing her head. I'm like, are you singing the song? She's like, yeah. I'm like, she's like, Dad, he listens to it all the time. I'm like, and we raised you right. You know these songs.
My youngest, he just turned 16, so he has become he's a mini me. I'll put it like this. He is my mini me. If you ever meet my youngest, and you will see everything. I mean, the looks are similar, but the attitude, the comebacks, my little quirks that will pop off. Yeah. He's got me beat. I mean, he's 16, but he talks like a 40-year-old man. They call him Gramps. Like, it's like, I'm like, you have so much wisdom, young one. But he actually came to the Celtic Warrior Challenge. The Celtic Warrior Challenge we did. So he finally ran his first race, which was hilarious because I kept telling him it's a 3-4 mile race. It was a 6 mile race. And about halfway through, I'm like, well, you want to turn back? And he looks at me, he's like, mathematically, that's stupid.
That's awesome.
I said, okay, you're right. You are right. Let's go. Let's keep. So yeah, the whole time I kept saying, let's turn back. No. But he fell in love with it. But it's funny because we got to the venue, and I said, okay, I'm gonna tell you now, Dad knows a lot of people. So somebody come talk to me. It just, he's like, yeah, it's cool. Well, I mean, I knew everybody there. I mean, Joey was there with Hearts of Scars, and Doc B was there. Doc B's the one that dresses like he always has his Egyptian outfit on. I love Doc B. Doc B is so awesome. But so many were there, and everybody came up to me. Everybody's talking to me, and he looks at me. He's like, Dad, isn't there anybody here you don't know? I said, I told you when we started, I know a lot of people. I'm kind of a social butterfly. I'm not gonna lie about it. I said, once people meet me, that was always the joke. No one talked to me until they met me. Then I was like, oh, he's cool. Because at first he's like, that dude looks mean. Yeah, I have that, rested bitch face that everybody tells me sometimes. I call it race bitch face. It's race time. I'm ready to race. It's race bitch. Except whenever I'm running, if I run open, then I usually have, I usually go to Starbucks and I'll have like a white chocolate mocha chocolate bullshit. And I'll sit there and I'm just straight basic bitch then. Cause I'm like, so what's up? Let's go. We about to do this.
Oh my God, that's great. Mocha Choca. Oh my God, I'm dying. It's like a known fact around my house that I love my coffee. I pretty much have taken over almost an entire counter. I swear, like every time my family comes out, they're like, really? More coffee? I'm like, don't you come at me.
Yeah. So have you tried the Berserker coffee yet?
No, I have not.
They had some at the event, and he's gonna hate me for forgetting his name, but the he's a little bit taller than me, about my size, bald head, and he is so full of energy. He made me feel like, well, damn, I need to step it up. But he goes to he promotes the Berserker coffee. I mean, it is a great. My son got the tea. He loves tea. I'm not a big coffee drinker. I'm gonna tell you right now. I'm not the norm of most. I'm not most OCR addicts. Most OCR people are coffee. I mean, hell, what's his name? One of the guys, every morning he's got a coffee meme, something with coffee. Avenger, God, what's his name? He's with Spartan 4.0. He's gonna slap me when he sees me, but he's like his because unfortunately I know everybody on Instagram by their handles. I almost never know anybody by their damn name, and he's like a Avenger fan or something. And I said he's gonna stop, but you know when you see him in person, you meet their name. It's like I don't remember your name, but I know who you are.
Tell me your Instagram handle. I'll know who you are.
Well, mine. Oh, you joking with me? Sorry, I was like everybody.
We already
Like,
know yours.
everybody knows the Bayou Spartan. No, the funny part is it's trying to say it because, you know, I am kind of infamous for winning Instagram giveaways. I don't know why, because I just have no life, and I'm just like, okay. I keep doing it, and a few times I've had like Podium Dreams. They're out of Arizona, and they said the Bayou Spartan. I'm like, no, that's wrong. And then one of them said Bayo. I'm like, okay, I don't even know if I want your product because you call me the Bayou Spartan, but I'll take it. So yeah, it's kind of like, okay, yeah, but no, it is funny how just, I mean, that's the life, just what we're in, you know, how everything's set up. Just that's kind of the world you're in. You know, everyone's face, you know who they are, and unless you really met them, you know them on Instagram. Like I've made so many friends because of social media. I mean, I'm talking to one right now. I made it on social media. And you know, you meet them in person, and it's like, hey, I know you. And then the funny part is, you'll see them at a race, you don't talk to them, but yet, hey, didn't I see you today? And it's like,
are you calling me out right now?
I'm just saying. But no, I mean, but I'm bad about that. Jillian is one of them. I seen her at my first ultra. It was in Dallas a couple years ago. I looked right at her, and I didn't speak. I was like. And then I messaged her later, hey, was that you? And she's like, you could have said hello. And I don't know why. I wasn't sure if it was her or not, you know, because she's the one that she's with the Legendborne, what's the group? Her name's Taco Bell is what her name on her shirt is. It's Taco Bell.
Okay.
And I can't think of the name of the group because there's quite a few teams, and I love some of the team names. They're so hilarious. Some of the stuff these guys come up with, but they all support their team. It's a great family.
Yeah,
you know?
It is.
All right, and now we're going to take a quick pause so we can hear from our sponsors.
Does your business need first aid, AED, OSHA, flagging, or other safety training? James Safety Services is your one-stop shop. Find them on Facebook today at James Safety Services WA and ask for a quote on hosting your training needs.
And we're back.
I'm one of those people, like, I can talk on this podcast. It's not a big deal. In person, I'm so socially awkward. And it's gotten so much worse because racing as much as I did and being around people like I was becoming more of a people person. But this last year, not really doing anything. I have gone to two of my friends' like birthday get-togethers. And I'm like, can I find a corner, a wall, someplace to go sit up next to? And these are people that I know. And I'm like, I'm not really comfortable right now. And it's just I have not been around people. So I'm looking forward to racing.
Exactly. It's been so much. We've been kind of put in a bubble, and it's like, okay, you kind of got used to it. It's like, do you want to come out your bubble? You know, because of COVID, you know, a lot of people lost their jobs. So as of right now, I am delivering for FedEx. So I'm a FedEx guy. Yes.
Awesome.
I never thought say it. It's actually the job's a blast. It's actually very, you know, just get your job. You work on your life. I average 25,000 steps a day. So I love doing the workout because I'm like, I'm huffing.
Yeah.
But it's just funny how, you know, you have a mask on and you'll be in the elevator and there's someone there with a mask and they're like, turn. So I'm thinking, what is that going to do? You turn, or like, don't look at me because I get it. It's like, come on, man. Let's get a little bit of sense here, people. Me looking at you is not going to give you COVID. If I had it, I wouldn't be working. You know,
I'm an introvert. So this whole thing has been like, I'm okay with it. I stay home, kind of quiet, but going out, like, I work in a medical field. I work in the chiropractic office. I know most of my patients by face. There's been a few that have come in. I'm like, I think I know you. And it's really weird to have to ask them, so what's your last name again? They're just looking, they're like, I come here all the time. I don't recognize you in a mask.
It's the mask. I'm
It's
telling
mask.
you, it's a difference. Yeah.
Yep,
So
it's the mask.
I love doing it because I love wearing, I mean, it's become a fashion statement now. So everyone, I love wearing a mask. I have a BeastNet mask. I've been special enough to get one. It was one of the white ones, so it's kind of hard to read. So people have to look at it a little harder sometimes. But I always have something, like I'll wear a Spartan mask. They have different ones, but I like to have something. If I'm gonna wear it, I might as well have something I support. That's how I feel. You got to wear it or whatnot. So I laugh at some of the stuff you see because down here it's sports. You have the Saints, you have LSU. People have their stuff. Some of them get the bling bling on. So it's I guess if you might as well just incorporate what you love. Yes. I get it. So yeah, I'm good with that. But it's definitely, that just gets me. If I have a mask on, you have one on, stay there. Okay, what do you need? I'm with FedEx. I have a package in my hand for you. You want it? You gonna toss it? I've never had that. So I won't lie. My nemesis right now is Progressive. They're Progressive Auto Place. Me and them, I have no problem with them, but it's like I can't win with these people. Don't come in. Don't. Just tell me what you want me to do. I'll leave it here. I don't mind. Just tell me where you want it. Just communicate. Because one person here, one person there. Everyone wants to be a chief. No one wants to be an Indian. So it's like, okay, come on, people. Let's get it right. Let's understand what we're doing. So so I just make the best of it. You do what you gotta do.
We when my mom went into the hospital for her surgery and stuff, it was interesting to see the people that were willing to talk and like make eye contact with you. But like even in the elevators, like they're like off to the side. I'm like, I'm not going to randomly hug a stranger. Sorry, that's not my style, but it's okay. I'm on this side of the elevator. You're on that side. But the hospital workers were the best because they're just like, how's it going? Blah, 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 blah. And they're just talking away. I'm like, I like you. You're not afraid to interact with a human being.
And I guess they figure you talk to me, you don't. They have no one else to talk to. Talk to me. Hi.
Right.
I'm in here. It's definitely changed a lot.
It has. And I'm looking forward to going to races where I don't have to wear a mask so I can actually like interact with people and talk without having to yell.
So and going back with Spartan, I'm trying to figure out because I understand no one knows what's going on, but their directives don't seem to match anything that, it's like, okay, we're going to do this time, but yet we're in Florida. Florida has these regulations. Okay, we're going to Texas, but they have these regulations. So they want to, I guess, take on what the local regulations are, but it's like, okay, like Texas has no more mask. So do I show up in San Antonio next week with no mask? You know what I'm saying? It's like, what's the boundary? It's like no one knows what to do. I think that's the problem.
I think the best thing to do is treat it like, you would if you're at home. If you don't have to wear masks, but some places require it, just bring your mask with you. Put it on.
Yep. I don't argue.
Yeah, I have so many. My daughter will be like, we'll go to the store and she's like, Mom, I forgot my mask. And I'm like, do you not see what's sitting around my shift knob in my car? There's like 15 of them. She's like, I don't like them. I'm like, really? Just grab a mask. She's like, your face is bigger than mine. Oh, you're going to get your ass kicked with that comment, child. But I would say just take your mask. Like, be socially conscious, I guess is the best way to put it. But if you're comfortable not wearing one, then don't wear it if you don't have to.
So I was fortunate enough, someone sent me a care package and I got a Spartan Gator in the care package. Well, let's just say that I don't own that Spartan Gator anymore. My 16-year-old, that's all he wears. Is that to school. Every day he has a Spartan Gator on. I'm thinking, well, first of all, have you washed it? Second of all, that's my Gator. And he's like, no, it's all cool. It's cool, Dad. I got it. I'm like, yeah, you got it around your neck. You got it. I said, well, you gonna hold it for me till we don't need it no more? It's hilarious. But yeah, I'm like, okay, thanks, brother. You're looking out. Yeah.
That's the funny thing too, is people are like, do you wash your masks? Like I have a couple at work. I rotate them and toss them into the laundry and stuff. But our school district here, and it was for the high school. Like it wasn't the school district itself. It was the high school. They posted a thing about washing your masks. And I'm like, you're talking to a bunch of dirty teenagers. Do you really think they're going to pay attention and wash their masks?
it's one of those where they have to put it out there to say it. It's kind of like having a sex ed class. Yeah, they're not gonna watch that video, but okay, cool, let's put it out there. Yeah, so they can say they said it. So I've gotten creative with it. I'll take the mask and I'll do like a little mixture with water and like a detergent, but I'll soak it and then I'll let it air dry. I won't put it through the washer. I'll just let it air dry, and it keeps the smell. So it's kind of like the downy dog with the towel. So I put it on. I'm like, oh.
That's how I know my mask at work needs to get washed, because I use like a OxyClean thing on it because my makeup gets on the inside of it. And when I can't smell that anymore, I'm like, oh, time to wash my mask. And I have a hard time like rotating it out. I have a friend who made me, her sister made me a Star Wars one, and it's just stormtroopers on it, and it fits perfect. I can breathe, and I'm like, I don't want to take it off, but you know,
So
they're fashion.
Is it sad? Like I have one that was made that I don't want to wear it because I don't want to mess it up. I have one. It was like someone had made me one. It was a LSU national championship mask, and they took like a national flag and made me a mask with it.
Oh,
I won't wear it just because I don't want to mess it up. I don't want to mess up the mask.
That's how I feel.
But it's true.
I went and got my hair done, and there's a little bit of like hair dye on the corner of my mask, and I'm like, oh,
yeah,
it's stained. But I'm like, okay, I gotta wear it.
Think about this. Think about this. A year ago this week, do you think we'd be having this conversation talking about masks?
No.
And you know what I'm saying? It's amazing how it's changed. Because a year ago we'd had talked, and we've been talking about what's coming up, where we're sitting, where we're going, what race, who's leading in the national series. That's all. Right now, we just had a national series race in Jacksonville, and I don't even know who really. I mean, I know Nicole won the girls. I think. I don't even know who won the guys. That's what I'm saying. It's just like
you said that.
VJ,
I'm like,
VJ.
Oh, did he?
VJ won it. Yeah, it's a short one. VJ's a short runner.
I didn't see a whole lot. I saw a few things from Spartan on it, but it's like they're quiet about it. I'm like,
exactly. Yep. I
think that's the hardest part about all this right now is like everybody's so quiet and timid about things, and it's like, okay, at some point we kind of gotta get back to some sort of normalcy.
And unfortunately, that's why when you ask me how's your races, I'm on it. I think we're on the same page with everybody. Just you're kind of timid because everyone's gun shy. You don't want to start spending the time and money that's going to take it off of work, whatever, travel and whatnot. Because I hate this, but like San Antonio last year, I was scheduled. Something told me don't go. COVID had just hit. Oh, we're having this race. People got to San Antonio and they canceled it at San Antonio. They canceled it while they were there. Oh. So I had people sending me pictures saying, well, first of all, good thing you canceled. Second of all, we're doing this workout at this gym over here. It's just really cool. Because they had no choice. They were right there. You might as well do your Spartan canceled the race at saying like people had showed up already on Friday, Saturday, they canceled it. So it's like one of those things, it's like, you don't want to do it.
That's kind of where I'm at. Like, I know there's some local races that are happening. There's one this weekend down in Portland. I wanted to sign up for and go, but when stuff kind of came down with my mom, I just didn't think I'd be able to get away from town. But there's others that I want to do. And I'm like, do I sign up? Do I not sign up? And I'm still just super hesitant. But at the same token, if I don't sign up here soon, they might sell out, and then
and that's the thing, because it's so limited.
Yeah,
and that's the other thing that's getting everybody, because it's like, okay, I'm gonna try and wait. So everyone's trying to wait. So it's kind of like eBay. Now you're like, wait, do I get a bid? It's that's what it is.
Yeah, that's exactly. And even like for around here in Washington, if you go to like a state park or something, you have to go online and make a reservation. And we're talking like 6 to 9 months out, you're making reservations. And my friend Audra, she was trying to make a reservation for a yearly family camp trip that they do. Every time she got on 7:00 in the morning, when those dates would open up, gone. She'd have it in her cart ready to go. 7:00 hit the your complete your sale thing and gone. And so like everybody's camping now, everybody's out doing stuff, and it's like
so there's a guy I know, he's in RV sales, and RV sales are up 200 or 300% in RV and trailer sales because everyone. So as I, that's kind of thing. Unfortunately, there's a lot of people not working right now, and I say that, but it's still those who have their normal jobs, everyday jobs, who would spend their money on going to traveling, doing this, so they can't spend it on nothing. So I'm gonna buy an RV. I'm gonna buy a trailer. So it's amazing where they're putting it towards something else. They're not, it's not being okay, I'm gonna save this. No, I'm just gonna go buy this. So it's crazy. They said it, like people are buying like crazy.
It is crazy to see. And I've noticed it. There's so many more people out. Just last year, like if I'd have to go over to I'd go over see my friend Audra, she's a couple hours away, coming home and crossing the Hood Canal Bridge over to the Olympic Peninsula, there would be like a 3-mile backup of cars heading back towards Seattle. And I'm like, the hell was going on this weekend? It's a normal weekend. No, it's people trying to get out and do something.
No. I know what that is. That's a Starbucks line. Is what that is. I know how y'all are up there. So that's a Starbucks line.
I don't go to Starbucks. I don't go to Starbucks. I will go to my favorite little coffee stand, and I don't care if I have to wait 10 minutes or 15 minutes for my coffee. That's where I go. Only place I go.
It amazes me because that's I know that's the thing, like people, but like literally in the mornings I'll drive and you pass like the local Starbucks, or down here they have PJ's and CC's coffee, like some of the local kind of Starbucks styles.
Yeah.
And it's wrapped around, and I'm like, I just don't get it, But then again, you look at McDonald's and it's wrapped around McDonald's, and I'm like, I don't get it.
That's the thing I've noticed, like here is, people would go out to their restaurants and, you get fairly decent food at a restaurant. You don't always have to get, fried, unhealthy things.
Mm-hmm.
But the fast food restaurants around here, like the lines are so long, like no matter where you go. We have we have a burger place in Port Angeles where I work. It's always packed during lunch.
Mm-hmm.
It's been insane. They started a little food truck on, I think, Thursday through Saturday at lunchtime where you can go walk up and get your food because of how backed up they get. And I'm just, it's insane.
It's insane. It is. I mean, so right when COVID, like I said, when everybody got lost jobs, I tried to find something. So I started delivering for Waiter. So Waiter, Grubhub, that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
I was fortunate enough to be delivering the day we got our stimuluses the first time.
Yeah.
Because let's just say I made $300 in one night.
Oh my gosh.
Because so many people were ordering.
Oh my gosh.
They were just paying whatever. I'm like, seriously? So I was like, I did it for lunch. I made it like $150. I said, well, I'm gonna do dinner just kind of to see. And sure enough, it was like, they were still ordering. The places were closed, and I'm still getting orders sent to me. I'm like, they're closed. How is this possible? But they were sending me orders, and the place is like, we're closed. And this is like a Popeye's fried chicken I'm walking to. I'm like, can I have an order for? Like, no, you don't. Yes, ma'am. No, baby. We're closed, baby. Boom. Like we done. Like, okay.
Out, done, no more. We just got stuff like that here. Some DoorDash. I don't know if we have Grubhub, but I know we have DoorDash. And my daughter the other night, it's like, hey, Mom, can I get something? I'm like, yeah, go to town and get it. She's like, well, what if I DoorDash it? And I'm like, who the hell do you think you are? We're 5 minutes from town.
They usually have specials to where like there's almost no charge. Like you have a free delivery. So to like try it out. And then all of a sudden you're hooked. And then before you know it, you're paying an extra $10 to get it delivered to you. And some people are like, well, that's worth the $10. Some more. So it's kind of one of those things. Yeah.
She's got 2 arms, 2 legs, and a vehicle of her own. She can take her happy little butt to her car and drive to town and come back home.
Right.
So I guess that's the thing. You're Phoenix OCR. You're gonna be racing there. Not really sure about the rest of your race season.
Yeah.
When you talk to other people, are they kind of the same way? Like we're same page we're at? We're timid, or
that's kind of what I mean. Just anyone you talk to, and that's what I said. I mean, whenever Don said, "Hey, you want to talk?" I'm like, "Yeah," but I won't lie. I kind of felt like I don't know what I'm gonna talk about, because it's like I feel underwhelmed right now just with the whole situation. It's like no one quite knows how to take it. So I think everyone's kind of revving up, ready to go.
Yeah.
But I honestly think it's gonna be a strong second half of the season is what they're gonna do. I think once we hit like June, July, and people say, okay, we're better.
Yeah.
With being vaccinations, whatever the case may be, I think it's gonna rev up a lot more. But
Yeah.
unfortunately, it's just it seems to be that's it's like I hardly post. Like I haven't posted anything. I posted something on Instagram the other day, and it was kind of a joke where it says on a regular day you got to be at work at 7, you sleep till 6:58. On a Spartan race day, you got to be there at 8. You're up at 4 a.m. And I think I had like 500 likes on that because so many people are just dying for this, just the
Yes.
interaction of it. They're craving it,
Yep. That's where we are too. Like, we're gearing up, we're waiting for races to like start announcing they're going to do stuff locally. And it's just like, I think this year is going to be a little rough, but next year's going to be the bigger boom of everybody.
Of course.
Hopefully getting back to it. But, it's like itching to get out and do stuff. We have a local race, Sumpta Swamit. They, I think they're holding it for free. And so you can go race and have fun. And I'm like, heck yeah, I can go get muddy.
So I've said this from the get-go. If I was a local race and I had an opportunity, I would be throwing them out there left and right now, because right now people are not looking to travel far. They're willing to do a one state race or so, something close, just because it's not that easy to travel. I mean, you could drive, but to me, people are timid to fly. Like I'm still kind of timid because, that's kind of a joke. And I joke about Danny, but Danny, they flew to Florida and he's like, you're canceling outdoor races, but you put us all in the sardine can. You see everybody on the plane with their mask on. And it's like, you put you all in here, but this is okay, but let's cancel all the races outside. It's kind of like, I get it. Okay.
Yeah, that's a hard one too. And for me, like most of the races that I want to go do, I have to fly. Like I can't spend a week driving across country. I don't know if
well, you live up in BFE too, so that's the difference.
Yeah, I have to drive everywhere, but I don't mind that. But I agree with you. The local races, I would be putting them on left and right and getting people out and moving and doing things again. Just for us, we're just waiting for our governor to decide what's going on next. I know that what is it? Sisu. They have confirmed the Sisu PNW 24-hour endurance event in June. I'm so excited for that. Last year I was supposed to be doing course build for a local race, and so I wasn't going to be able to do it, but they canceled it anyways. I can't wait to do that one again. It's like you choose your own adventure race, and I'm like, I gotta go do that. Yay! Something to look forward to. But I'm very timid to like think any further than that. But I'm trying to plan for time off for Dallas and everything else. But I'm just like, I don't want to pull the trigger on buying the race yet. Which is
that's kind of I mean, it's kind of I do think the later races, like I said, be it Dallas, be it like the Florida Beast, and just talking just Spartan wise. I think they'll see bigger numbers in those later races, because by then I think people are more comfortable with the situation and how it's being done. So I just think with the unknown, it's hard. No one knows. What do I do? And then you don't want to assume. I don't think right now you can bring spectators to the venues. So you're unless you're racing, you can't bring no one with you. So it's kind of one of those things.
Yeah, and that's
going to change.
It's so funny. I know like you're supposed to stay in your car till 30 minutes beforehand in some places. And like here, it cracks me up. We can't, only people that can go into the stadium for like football, soccer, anything like that. The kids get 2 tickets, one for a parent, for parents, or like a parent and a sibling, but everybody else can sit outside the stadium. Like we have full on tailgate parties basically happening. Like
it's
I'm just like, what's going on here?
One of the funniest things my youngest one said, we're out eating, and you can't be at a bar. The bars still don't serve liquor, but you can be at a bar that serves food. So he says, so we have chips and dips. We're cool, right?
Yeah.
So COVID's not coming because we have chips and dip. So we're good.
That's exactly it.
That's what it is. Yeah.
My daughter went to the football game last weekend, and she's like, Mom, bring me a blanket. And I'm like, dude, it's gonna be cold. You go get your own damn blanket. I'm on my way home anyways. And she's like, well, there's a bunch. I could hear all the kids like behind her. And I'm like, how many people are there? She's like, you don't want to know. And I'm like, So you have a student section by the middle school and a student section over on the other side. I'm like, well, what's the point? Why don't you just let them all hang out? Because they're already hanging
Yep.
out. And like, going to restaurants and stuff, it's the same thing. Like I have to wear a mask to go in, but as soon as I sit down, I can take it off. So COVID's only going to be from the door to the booth.
Exactly. Yeah. It doesn't stay
No.
around us at all, And I always joke about it. And you always have some that just, they're defiant. They walk up, I don't have a mask. What you gonna tell me about it? I'm gonna sit down. I mean, it's like, why, bro? This poor little waitress, she doesn't care about your thoughts. She just wants to sit you down and do what she's told. But it's like some people are just so defiant. Come on, man. Just
it's for like 15 minutes, if that. Like if you go into the grocery store, like I kind of like it because I grew up here. I live here. I know a lot of people. I can go in and out of the grocery store. Nobody knows me. Nobody talks to me. And I'm like, yay. I don't want to see people. I do, but not here.
I'm a little different, but yeah, we can agree to disagree on that one. Yeah.
But I don't. I get it in my head. I want to go do this, and get out. But I talk to people that I know really well. But if I don't know them very well, no.
Right. Yeah. It all depends. Like when I lived in Biloxi, I used to run the football leagues there, so I had to start going to Walmart at night because if I went in the middle of the day, nothing got done. Because Johnny wants to talk to me, or Johnny's mom, or Susie. It was. I mean, I'm not one to be like, I got time for you. I'm not like that. Yeah, sure. What's going on? What you got? Just.
If I make full on eye contact with somebody, I will talk to them. But if I don't make eye contact, I wasn't there.
Understood. Gotcha.
Looking at the time. So Phoenix Rising, known for Spartan Race. Still Legendborne Ambassador. Anything else? Anything else going on?
Unfortunately, no.
Nope.
I've become a boring person. I really have. I feel I have it to my levels. I mean, I still do supporting. I love people doing the 22 push-ups a day. That's something I love to support. I love doing it. For the longest time, people get the biggest kicks out of the shit I was doing on the things because I've done some interesting push-ups.
Yes,
I'll put it to you like that. I think.
Yes, you have.
Several. I would always make sure to test it before I got on them because I think the craziest one I did, I took 4 sets of dumbbells. I had 2 and 2 on the dumbbells, and I balanced on the dumbbells.
Yeah, I saw that one.
I'm in my local gym, hoping no one. If I busted, someone's gonna catch me seeing it, or Tracy, the owner, who I love to death, she will have it on video, and she's gonna, hey Dwayne, look what I got. So let's just say that was one that I made sure. Yeah, we're good. All right, let's go for it. So yeah, there's one. There was another one I did where I was on the side of one of the parking garages, and they're like, "Are you effing nuts?" I'm like, "Have you never heard of special effects?" Because had you looked at it, it was right there. I wasn't like on the side falling off the side. It wasn't a 40-foot drop. It was like right there. But who am I to judge that you think I'm a daredevil? So.
You can let people believe what they want to believe. Come on.
Exactly. It's all about, what it looks like. Oh my God, this dude's an idiot. Yes, I am. So, but I mean, just trying to stay positive with everyone. I do love the community, how much everyone's supporting each other.
Yep.
I'm very thankful that Josh, to OCR, that boy went through heart surgery, came back. I am actually Hearts and Scars presented him with a jersey at the Jacksonville event, which he ran. I'm thinking 2 weeks ago, this dude couldn't do push-ups, and now he's running a Spartan. So just the fact that he's become my hero. That boy is my hero. He's a Marine, and I'll let him pass on that because I was Navy and CB, but we will joke about that. But for the most part, I mean to go through that and just all of us were captivated. We were worried that he wasn't going to make it, much less be back racing.
Yep.
So that's an amazing story. That is definitely something that more people I think need to hear about because his story is just so amazing.
It is amazing. And it's a testament to the OCR community as well, because all the support, the love, and everything else that he got through that. That's the one thing that I have loved seeing throughout all this is the OCR community still cares about each other and still supports each other. Even if we're not racing, there's still that connection in that community that's there.
Well, it's become a family. I mean, for the most part, you say it, but I mean, I've never been, military is the closest thing I've been to where you're with the people you don't know that you've never met before, but you feel at home with them. And I mean, I'm a hugger. I hug everybody. You know, I walk up, if I've known you and I know you on social media, I'm going to come hug you. It's very seldom. Now, you might slap me off or something, but the case is, you know, it is what it is. You know, you just
Yeah.
you're just so close with people that you've seen so much of them, and so you get to know them
Yep.
on an intimate level. You know, because it's very personal when you're doing social media. That's the one thing I can say I do love. Social media can be a beast, and it can be evil. It can be mean to a lot of people, but it can be great because of just how it brings people close together. Like I said, there's people I will never meet in my life. There's one or two of the Legendborne guys who are in France, and I'll joke with them. And you know, I'm not stupid. I'm gonna talk French, but I'm Google Frenching it. You know, like, yeah, Google. You know, here you go. You know, so we're back and forth. But the fact is that we're communicating and just talking about the different styles. But I never would know that if it wasn't for this. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Yeah.
Who am I to just randomly talk to somebody in France? I'm not a pen pal. You know what I'm saying?
I do the same thing on my Instagram. I'm following people from all over, like Europe and stuff, but it's OCR related, and it's amazing to see the different things that they have going on over there. And it really is a family. There are times where I feel really alone, but I also know that I have my family, my OCR family, that is there to support me, and it's like the best feeling ever. And some things have changed over the last year or two when it comes to some people within that for me, but it's still, I will still walk up to anybody I know and say hi and communicate with them.
Yeah.
Strangers, we're working on that one. We're getting there.
Well, but I do say I think there's like communication on Spartan's part as well, because I just got an email. I won't lie, you know, we were part of Street Team.
Yeah.
And I thought it was dissolved. I haven't heard anything about Street Team until I just got an email recently, like today. I got an email as I was at the doctor's office saying we still need Street Team members for San Antonio.
I got that too.
And I'm just like, do we still have a Street Team? I mean,
that's what I was trying to figure out.
Yeah.
Because they did applications for it and I didn't get you got, congratulations, you're on Street Team thing, but I'm still getting the emails. I'm like, okay, did you guys check where everybody's from before you sent the email? Because I'm in Washington. Like, kind of late notice for San Antonio for me, but hey.
Right. But I mean, that's what I'm saying. I don't understand. Like, okay, what's the deal? I don't get it. I mean, y'all literally haven't said a word about it. Several people I know were posting Spartan Ambassador, Spartan brand ambassador, all this stuff. I'm like, great. I've been an ambassador the last few years. Like I said, I kind of fell off. I hadn't really participated, so I didn't expect to be. I hadn't received anything, but then I got the street thing. I'm like, yeah, we need you. Yeah, I didn't know we had it.
Right.
So it's like, we're it's like, hello.
Yeah, that's the thing, is I think more communication, like from the race companies themselves. The most I see anymore right now is I see a lot for Jules and her, her races that she's got going on. I see a few others, but Spartan hasn't really promoted their races a whole lot, and there's no.
All I know is Bone Frog is back, because Bone Frog is the most emailed one I receive,
really,
bar none. I mean, they're real nice guys. I've gotten to know a few ambassadors, but I'll get 2 or 3 Bone Frog emails a day. Sign up for Bone Frog. Like, it's like, I'm like, damn. And I keep thinking Battle Frog. I'm an idiot. I'm old school. So I'm like, no, it's Bone Frog.
Bone Frog.
I just miss Battle Frog.
Battle Frog. Yeah, I miss that one. No, I haven't seen a lot of emails for anything really, and that's
so I think Bone Frog is more East Coast.
Yeah.
So that'd be my only guess on that. Why?
It is.
They're mostly East Coast. Yeah.
They are. We were gonna try a couple of years ago to go to DC, where they do a racer in DC, my Audra and I, but it just wasn't. I think that's the year we ended up going. We went to Sedona instead. We went and roasted in the desert instead. But that's one that I would love to do. But again, like you said, they're on the East Coast.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of things on the East Coast that I'm starting to be more aware of. And I'm like, I think I'm in the wrong side of the country right now.
I'm closer than you are, and I still feel like it's like sometimes out of reach. I mean, they have one. I would love to do city challenge. City challenge is a 1-day race. It's a 5K that they literally shut down the city, and they have all these obstacles. They like put cars, all this stuff, and I see everybody in New York doing this stuff, and I'm thinking, okay, really? It just I want to try it, but I'm not flying for a 5K. I'm not going to fly to New York to do a 5K. I'm just not.
Yeah,
it's sad, but that's kind of, I've always kind of distance wise. If I don't, unless it's a stadium race, I'm not doing a Spartan sprint. I'm not flying somewhere for a sprint. I'll do the weekend where I do a super sprint or B sprint, whatever.
Yeah.
But I'm not doing, and I think that's what everybody's like. We're not going to go there just for a sprint.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
totally get that. Totally get that. I think that's where, like, for Dawn and I were trying to figure out what races to go to, because again, we're flying from the West Coast to the East Coast, and is it going to be worth our time? But I think it will be. That's the thing. In here, we have to drive 14 hours to Montana. That's one way.
So I will say, like, I am seeing more of like the DecaFit and the High Rocks. Those are becoming bigger, and I think that's the new wave. I really think that's where a lot of things are going, because it takes it's an element of OCR, an element of CrossFit. And it's kind of combining. So I am seeing a lot more of that. I think had COVID not hit, it got bigger faster. I think it kind of put a brakes on it, but it definitely, I see those becoming a big hit, because Yancey's promoting DECA big time.
Are they?
And so that's something you see more.
I'll have to look into that some more. I know for here, all of our gyms have been shut down for so long, like they're barely starting to get back and up and running. We've lost, I think we only had like 2 or 3 CrossFit gyms in my area. We're down to 1. Just one. And it sucks because, okay, you got one CrossFit gym. Well, all the CrossFitters from all the other gyms need a place to go, and that's where they're going to go. And I miss that. I really loved CrossFit, and I just don't want to go to a packed CrossFit gym.
It's it's intimidating. I mean, it is. I mean, for anybody. I mean, I get intimidated walking into, because that's not my arena. So I'll go do a workout, but I know I'm not to the level of some of these guys, because I don't do this every day. That's not my thing.
Yeah.
So I totally agree with it. So to anyone, it's very intimidating.
Yep. I was a part of a really small CrossFit gym, and I loved it because there was maybe like 5 or 6 people per class, and the coach like paid attention to every single person and was like, "Oh, you need to stop." What? He goes, "You're going to hurt yourself. Now stop." And he would like correct you right then and there. And it was nice to have that one-on-one where the person like paid attention to everything you're doing. Yeah. And the one that's left, they're so big. There's like 20 or 30 people like in there, but I can't. There's too many people for a little gym and throwing weights and stuff around.
I will say I'm thankful, because the gyms down here were closed for maybe a month. And we were fortunate, because like they opened the gyms back very quickly. But that's about it. The bars are still closed, so that's a little different down here.
I don't really miss that so much. Well, the tap room. I have a tap room I go to. I get my ciders and stuff, but they've been open for the most part. But all of our gyms, they just barely started opening up. And I know there were a few that, at least around here, they put boards up around their windows, so
no one saw them.
Nobody could see if there's people in there or not.
we had several that, it's like, okay, don't come in. Yeah. So
pretty much.
Stuff like that. Yeah. Don't come in. Yeah.
We're closed. We know what you're talking about. It was weird. Our pools were open before our gyms were, and I'm like,
so pools are still closed. Like here, you can't get in the pool for nothing. Like, don't get in the water. You don't worry about alligators, but worry about COVID. That's I mean, that's really what it seems like, because there's nothing water-wise open. There's no pools open whatsoever. The natatorium, it's all closed down.
Wow, that's crazy. Yeah, they were open here, and I'm like, okay, so I can't go to a gym where I don't really hang out with people because I'm working out, but I could go to a pool around a bunch of people.
That's what I mean. It's like no one knows. Everyone has their own And
Yeah.
it's frustrating. It's frustrating everyone. I see why everything's kind of in the state it is, because it's like, hey, no one has an answer, and then everyone wants to combat that one answer. It's frustrating.
And each state is completely different from the other.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I mean.
That's what makes it so hard. Like race
well, that's
wise,
what I'm saying.
even.
Look where I live at. I live in Louisiana.
Yeah.
Texas and Mississippi both got rid of mask mandates. So there's no mask at either state. I'm in between and we wear masks. So I mean, it's just like, okay.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like, who's running this thing? You know?
Yep. I know. I think Oregon still has a mask mandate. But Washington and Oregon have been like two peas in a pod through all this. Idaho, Montana, they pretty much gave the big middle finger to everybody because they're like, we're going to just continue going on. And we went to, my daughter and I over Labor Day weekend went to Idaho, and we saw some friends of ours that we hadn't seen in a long time. And it was weird because we're sitting there, we're having a barbecue, and all of a sudden we hear an announcer at the football stadium, and my daughter jaw just dropped. She's like, is that a football game? And they're like, yeah, it already started for us. She's like, what the F, Mom? And I'm like, sorry.
Yeah.
And my friend's daughter, they went to the football game for the last little bit of it. And my daughter was so happy because she could go to football games. She didn't have to wear a mask. And I'm like, I'm sorry. Like,
it's every, like, so we had almost a normal football season. I think they backed it up 2 weeks here.
yeah.
So you had a normal football season for high school, had the state championships. Last minute, New Orleans mayor decided, no, you're not having New Orleans. So they went and have it at one of the open stadiums somewhere up in northern Louisiana for state championships, because they always have it at the Superdome every year. So
yeah.
it's kind of one of those things. They're like, no, we're not gonna do it here. Okay, well, that's fine. And they
Yep.
they figured it out. But it's
Yeah.
it's definitely, yeah.
Yeah, we there's no state championships this year. I think they're having like district championships, kind of like the top two teams from the districts that they've split in half can
Play each other and kind of,
yeah.
Well, what's amazing to me is like the smaller colleges, like, so I live right by Southeastern Louisiana. They're playing football right now. So the 1AA schools are playing football. So right now, if I was to go to the college, there could be a football, baseball, and a basketball game going on all at the same time. They were all doing practice. I went one day because I sometimes work out at the garage. I call it the concrete mountain because that's the only hills I have around here. So I go work out in their garage. And I get there and it's like packed. And I look over, baseball's practicing, softball's practicing, and football's practicing all at the same time. And I'm like, wow, this is just different.
That is completely different.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I like for us, because so many of our students are behind, like failing classes, not making it through. My coworker was saying that her sons go a half hour early to football practice, not to practice necessarily, but there are people there that are helping them with their grades and their homework before actual practice starts, so that they can still try to improve.
Stuff. Yeah.
Because I would say probably 80% of the teams would have no players because their grades are faltering. But we just went back to in-person like 2 days a week, depending on what group you're in. I guess that's the biggest thing about this year. Like, you're feeling underwhelmed. I'm kind of the same way. It's a wait and see game. And I'm almost afraid to wait until July to actually jump into something and like pay for my, the races. Cause I'm like, well, are they gonna be sold out by then? Or do I just buy
and that's kind of, it's kind of, so I guess my question, hopefully Spartan sees this. My question is, will you change your requirements as everything changes in the US? Because pretty like Texas is full. So do we have a full venue? Or are you still going to be regulated to just a low amount of racers? Do we have full start gates? Are you going to do like they did in Jacksonville, where it's staggered start gates? That's what I'm saying. It's like, you want to have a blanket, but are you going to accommodate for where you are? Because you're saying you're going to pay attention to the local government. Okay, local government in Texas is back to normal. Are you going back to normal? That's my questions with that. How much are they going to pay attention to what's going on and not just have a blanket statement going? Because that's going to affect a lot of things. Because if you have a blanket statement, and if you're going to Texas and they're full venue, but you're still at 25%, who's losing here? Everyone.
Everyone. Yeah, exactly. And what about, I guess that's the thing for, all of the race companies, like, what standards are you guys following? Like you said,
Mhm.
are you going to follow the local mandates? Or are you just going to do a blanket mandate? And
Mhm.
not only how's that affecting your bottom line, because, that's
Mhm.
the big picture there, but that's going to affect so many racers because, either they're not going to be able to do it when they are ready to sign up, or if they're ready to sign up, they're not sure what to do because they don't know what's going on. It's like a double-edged sword, and there's no win-win on either direction on it.
Yeah, that's the one thing I will say that Julie's promoting real big with Phoenix. Not canceled. She has a big sign over it. Not canceled.
Canceled.
Not
Yeah.
canceled.
Yeah.
We coming. So I know she's trying to get her numbers up for Mississippi. So if anybody's seen this, wants to do a great venue in Mississippi, get to it. April 17th. It'll be fun. I'll be out there. Quite a few of us should be out there, and definitely I think she'd have a blast with it.
That's awesome. I know there's been some talk between me and another of one of the hosts, is we're trying to figure out if that's viable. He's actually,
I would say y'all need to do a live podcast from it.
Exactly. That's kind of what the goal is. But for both of us, everything is kind of hinging on some stuff for next week. Next week, a week from today, I get to find out from my mom's care team
Yeah, of course.
where things stand there. And if I can get away, then I will get away. But right now, I'm holding down the house. So
totally understood. Understood.
But no, I would love to see more of the races, start announcing, hey, this is what we're doing. This is our standards. This is what we're going to follow. And I think once they start doing that, like Jules is doing an amazing job with hers, because that's what she's doing. Hey, this is what we're doing. We're not canceling. We're going to do whatever we need to do. And if more would do that, I think you're going to get more people a little bit more willing to sign up. And I guess part of it's getting over the fear. Like, it's that fear aspect that's been kind of put into us about all of it. And well, I don't know. I work with people every day and I'm pretty close to them. I still haven't died yet, so we're good.
It's always a good day.
Exactly. So, yeah. Exactly. So you got a new Legendborne jersey that you can pick up, the epic BeastNet one.
Epic BeastNet, yes. I won't lie, I was kind of shocked though, because it's all red. I was expecting it to be like that poster behind your head with the green and the
green.
But I think it was just more of just the design. I mean, it's a beautiful design, don't get me wrong. I just was kind of, it just kind of like, oh, okay. I thought it was gonna be green. I thought it was gonna be green. I mean, just because everything y'all have is right there. So
we shied away from that, and there were a couple other aspects of the jersey that we were very cautious about, and we shied away from the color due to another team another team, so we're not like clashing.
Of course.
And the red, we were able to incorporate a little bit of more heart than scars. We have our Canadian side of our podcast, so there's that incorporated too. I don't know if you look at the eyes on the beast on the front of it, the eyes are Canadian flags to represent our Canadian counterpart. We have the American flag, and we have the Spartan in the wheelchair for more heart than scars.
Yes.
So we kind of like we're incorporating like everything that we were about in one. So
absolutely.
We had some people like, why don't you have the US flag in the eyes? It's on the shoulder. That's why.
Yeah. Well, but it's okay. So someone like me who usually has suns out, guns out, I usually have the muscle shirt. Yeah. That's not fair.
That's what I have too. I got the tank top, and I'm like, well, I don't want to wear I don't.
Well, I was disappointed because I've seen several of the hearts and scars. They put the wheelchair Spartan on the side right here.
Yeah.
Well, they moved it to the arm. I didn't know that when I ordered it, and I got mine, and it's not on it. So I was so like bummed. I'm like, right? I wear it all the time. I love it, but I'm just like, I wanted the wheelchair.
Just
because it's such an awesome design. I'm like, this is one of the coolest designs. I mean, bar none. I think of all the stuff everybody's done, that's probably one of the coolest designs they've come up with.
I love that. And I know like on our, because we have the t-shirts that you can, the jerseys you can get, but that's one of the reasons why I got the hoodie too, is because it's on the hoodie.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Yeah. Okay. I hadn't thought about that. Yeah.
Yeah, it's on the hoodie.
Once again, it's a hoodie. Yeah.
I know.
Yeah.
You're in the South. You don't wear hoodies.
I'm telling you, usually I have the muscle shirt because I just don't. I very seldomly wear sleeves.
Yeah.
It's so hot down here, and I hate a farmer's tan, so I don't like wearing the farmer's tan kind of stuff. So it sounds crazy. So I usually have sleeves if I run a race for more than like 2 laps or 3 laps, or if I have a weekend race.
Yeah.
At some point, I'm gonna have sleeves because my shoulders are usually burnt. So I kind of, it's very, very planned out.
Yeah. Yep. I have to be careful of that too. Because for me, it's not necessarily when I'm racing, it's when I'm driving my car, because I only get it from this side. So sunroof's open, I get burned. Well, thank you for coming on and talking with me. I know Don might kill me with how long it's gone so far.
It's all good. Don is the master of edits, because the last time every cuss word I said was edited out, and I'm like, okay, I thought we were cool with it. I didn't know. I mean, I didn't realize I was bleeping that much, but yeah. So
he had to cut out, I think, a 5-minute section of one of my interviews with another pair of teammates of ours, because I lost my internet and I came back on and it was just her mouth like right about this at the camera. And then we started talking about other things and we were laughing so hard. He goes, I have the best outtake from that. He goes, I'm gonna have to do podcast.
I'll do outtakes. That'd be awesome.
Yep,
Podcast outtakes. Yeah.
Yeah, because he said it was like 5 minutes of just sheer laughing, and I'm like, you're the one that put us all together. I don't know what you were expecting. You know what we're all like when we're face to face, and then you stuck us on a Zoom meeting. Oh, come on.
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah, he's great at editing, and I know he's been doing some taking some classes and stuff to get more editing in. So we're starting to step up our game just a little bit. So
absolutely.
Well, thank you so much, and look forward to seeing you at some point this season. Fingers crossed.
Absolutely.
But thank you so much, and I will talk to you later.
All right, Lisa. Thank you.
See you. You're welcome. Bye.
Thanks for listening to the BeastNet podcast. If you haven't done it yet, find us on Facebook, like and share the podcast. Give us a review on iTunes or Spotify. All these things will help to expand the show in the future. Don't forget to subscribe and let us know what you think and what you'd like to hear.